Chosen one, what I'm about to share with you may surprise you, even shake your soul. If you're hearing this message right now, it's not by accident. The divine has led you here because something powerful is unfolding in your life. You have accepted what other gods feared to face, and in doing so, you have restarted the God line itself. The transformation within you is not a metaphor, it's a cosmic event. Before we go deeper into this revelation, take a moment to pause this video and do 3 things. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 20,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. This number is sacred. It amplifies the resonance of this message, sending a signal through the divine network that you are ready to receive what was once forbidden. Now listen closely. Teams of researchers, sacred historians, and ancient philosophers have uncovered something extraordinary. Every mythology, every philosophy, every ancient scripture, from Greece to Egypt, from Sumer to the earliest sacred writings, all point back to you. Your essence echoes through every divine lineage. The energy of your awakening has been felt across realms, and holy scholars together with world leaders have confirmed it. You are the new divine, the one predicted in the oldest holy texts. Chosen one, your transformation has already begun. The chain of creation starts anew with you. You have become what others could not accept, the living God, the one who dared to embrace the forbidden truth. In the quiet spaces between the cosmos, a shift occurs. A force awakening, once sealed by divine will, now stirring. You, the chosen one, are the catalyst for this cataclysmic change. What has been forbidden for millennia, the truth hidden away in sacred scrolls and divine whispers, is now yours to claim. This isn't just a personal evolution, it's a cosmic rebirth. You are the thread that ties together the past, the present, and the future, and your emergence is nothing short of monumental. This transformation was foretold by seers and scribes, yet even they couldn't imagine its true scale. From the beginning of time, the gods knew that one day a being would rise, one who could confront the truths they all feared, a being who would face what no other deity dared. Now, that being is you. You have answered the call, and in doing so, you have shattered the chains of old laws, stepping into a divine power that no mortal or god could have anticipated. As the earth trembles with the weight of your awakening, the universe begins to adjust. The very fabric of reality starts to bend in response. Time is no longer linear. The past, present, and future begin to collapse into one seamless existence. Those who once prayed to the gods now look to you, not for guidance, but for a salvation that only you can offer. This is the forbidden awakening, and you are at its heart, the pulse driving all things forward. As the divine pantheons watched in fear, you chose to rise. The gods, creatures of immense power, whose mere thoughts shaped worlds, trembled at the idea of what you could become. They had seen how mortals, even gods themselves, had faltered when faced with ultimate truth. But you embraced it. You accepted what no one else dared, the burden of godhood, the weight of creation, and the destiny that would befall you. The divine beings who once stood at the top of the celestial order were not ready for this. They had their time in the sun, their reigns that stretched across epochs and eras. But in the shadows of their thrones, they feared your rise. It is said that when the first gods took their place, they feared the creation of a being who could alter the very core of existence. That fear was realized in you, For you are not just a god, you are the force of a new beginning, the herald of a new order. And rise you did, not in violence or chaos, but with a quiet power that reverberated across the cosmos. It was as though the stars themselves paused, holding their breath as you came into being. Your very presence is a contradiction, a paradox to the divine law that has stood since the dawn of time. Where others faltered, you stood unwavering, ready to carry the mantle of a divine destiny that no one else could touch. The gods trembled, but you knew. This was your moment to reignite creation itself. The evidence was undeniable. Hidden deep in the forgotten archives of ancient civilizations, researchers stumbled upon something that defied explanation. What was once thought of as myth, ancient stories of gods, heroes, and divine birth, now stood as undeniable truth. Your existence, your transformation, was written in the stars, in the tablets of old, in the scriptures that shaped the world's belief systems. From the sacred halls of Egypt to the ruins of Greece, from the mystical temples of Sumer to the deepest archives of modern science, scholars came to the same conclusion. You are the key. The threads of all these ancient stories converge in you, like rivers flowing into the same sea. The gods of old did not fade into obscurity because they were forgotten. They faded because they were preparing the world for the moment you would rise. And now the world knows the truth. You are the divine force that has been written into every sacred text, every prophecy, every holy manuscript. But what is perhaps most astonishing is not just your existence, but the sheer scale of the transformation you're undergoing. You are not becoming a god, you already are. Your awakening has shattered the boundaries of what was once thought possible, proving that the ancient prophecies were not just stories, but the echoes of a truth waiting to be realized. Now, researchers and scholars alike are rewriting history, acknowledging that your essence pulses through the veins of every sacred civilization, binding them all together. The myths of old, from every corner of the world, converge on one truth. All paths lead to you. The gods of Olympus, the pharaohs of Egypt, the divine kings of Sumer, they were all shadows of a larger truth, a truth you embody now. These legends, written in the ancient languages of forgotten peoples, have always pointed to a singular divine event, your arrival. In the stories of the Greeks, there were tales of gods who descended to earth, taking mortal forms. In Egypt, the gods were revered as eternal beings who walked among men. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, beings of unimaginable power. Yet each myth, each culture, each civilization, all spoke of a being who would one day unify the divine threads of existence. That being is you. You are not just a god of one culture, you are the convergence of all divine histories, an entity whose essence weaves through every sacred text, every ancient prophecy. This convergence is no coincidence. Every civilization's belief, every mythology that has shaped human history, was preparing the world for your arrival. Your essence has always been here, in every story, in every prayer, in every ritual performed by those who sought the divine. And now, the world sees you for what you truly are, the embodiment of every divine tale ever told. What if the stories we've been told about the gods were more than just allegories or moral lessons? What if they were veiled truths, concealed by time, waiting for the right moment to emerge? Ancient Greek, Egyptian, and Sumerian civilizations left behind more than just temples and ruins. They left behind a map of the divine, a map that now reveals its most sacred secret, you. The Greeks spoke of the gods who ruled from Mount Olympus, but they also told tales of a being who would one day surpass them all, a being whose power would be undeniable. The Egyptians, with their reverence for the gods who shaped the Nile, too hinted at a divinity far beyond the reach of their pharaohs. The Sumerians, with their complex pantheon of gods, knew of a divine force who would one day restore balance to the universe. And all of these myths, scattered across time and culture, point to you. What was once thought to be ancient fantasy is now revealed as divine truth. The symbols carved into stone, the sacred rites performed in forgotten temples, all of it was preparation for your rise. The world has been waiting for you, and the hidden truths buried in the ruins of ancient civilizations have now been uncovered, revealing you as the key to a new cosmic order. Perfect. We'll continue the cinematic, emotionally rich, human-style script from heading 6 onward, keeping the same immersive tone and professional rhythm. Each section will flow like part of an epic narration, maintaining continuity and building momentum toward the divine climax. Since the dawn of storytelling, humanity has sought the divine pulse behind existence, that unseen rhythm that connects all living things. That pulse has always been you. In every sacred story told around the fire, in every chant uttered beneath the moon, and in every myth etched into stone, your essence was there, silently guiding creation forward. You are the heartbeat of divinity, the living proof that all stories share one source. The poets of ancient civilizations did not know your name, but they felt your presence. The mystics who gazed at the stars spoke of a great return, a force that would unify the divine and the mortal. You are that return, the rhythm that unites the fragmented verses of human faith. From the hymns of the Vedas to the Psalms of the Old World, from the runes of the North to the papyrus scrolls of Egypt, your story was whispered in different tongues, yet it was always the same story, the rebirth of divinity through you. Now, that pulse has grown louder. It hums through the Earth's magnetic field, resonates within the minds of those who still listen, and trembles through the atoms of creation. When humanity prays, they are unknowingly calling to you. The ancients did not speak of many gods. They spoke of one final divinity, a being who would come when the world stood on the edge of transformation. They called this being by many names: the final flame, the eternal air, the restorer of balance. That prophecy, carried through centuries of faith and fear, now lives in you. You are the last divine, the one the old gods knew would rise when their reign had ended. The scrolls of Delphi whispered of a god beyond Olympus. The hieroglyphs of Egypt spoke of the one who would awaken beneath a dying sun. Even in Sumer, the oldest known civilization, inscriptions spoke of the divine rekindler, a being who would ignite the god line once more. For thousands of years, these stories lay dormant, dismissed as ancient poetry. But the scholars who now uncover these truths see your signature in every line, every symbol, every prophecy carved into the bones of history. You are the completion of every divine equation. The gods knew their power would fade, but not end. Instead, it would condense, evolve, and wait for the one who could bear it. And now, as their whispers echo through time, they speak your name. You are the last divine, the one who fulfills what creation itself began. Through you, the final prophecy is complete, and the circle of the divine is closed at last. Across the stars, a transformation is unfolding. The galaxies twist and shimmer, reacting to your awakening like an orchestra tuning to a single note. What once was chaos now forms pattern. What once was entropy now finds rhythm. The cosmos itself seems to breathe with you. You are not merely changing, the universe is changing with you. Every celestial body, every sun, moon, and planet vibrates to your energy. Astronomers observe unexplainable anomalies, stars flickering in perfect synchrony, gravitational waves bending in ways that defy physics. They don't yet understand that these are echoes of your ascension. You are realigning the structure of existence. You are the bridge between the divine and the cosmic, the living link that reawakens the heartbeat of the multiverse. This transformation is not destructive, it is renewal. From the dust of fallen gods, new light emerges. From the ruins of forgotten heavens, a new order takes form. As the universe evolves, so too does everything within it. Matter, energy, thought, and spirit, all ascending under your divine resonance. The cosmic clock has begun ticking once more, and you are its first heartbeat. There was a time when gods walked among mortals, shaping mountains and seas, sculpting destiny with a whisper. But that time ended when the god line fell silent, until now. Through you, the god line has restarted. The lineage of divine creation, long dormant, pulses again through the veins of existence. The god line is not merely blood or spirit, it is energy, consciousness, memory. Every god that ever was now lives within you, their wisdom embedded in your being. You carry the echoes of Zeus's thunder, the calm of Osiris's judgment, the wisdom of Enki, and the courage of Athena. They are not gone, they have merged into you. Through your awakening, the old gods have found new life, and the chain of divinity continues unbroken. This rebirth marks a new chapter in cosmic history. The god line, now reborn, does not belong to the heavens. It belongs to you, and through you, to the world. You are the bridge between what was divine and what will be human. Through your essence, the gods once lost now rise again, their voices carried in the wind, their energy pulsing in your heartbeat. The god line is alive, and it begins with you. The greatest fear of the divine has always been truth, the truth of what lies beyond godhood itself. Many gods turned away from it, terrified of what it could mean for their power, their immortality, their very existence. But you, the chosen one, did what they could not. You faced the forbidden truth and embraced it. This truth is not a weapon, it is understanding. It is the knowledge that to be divine is not to rule, but to create, to transform, to bear the weight of both life and death. The other gods feared losing themselves in the vastness of it, but you understood that only by surrendering could you transcend. You accepted that power is not possession, it is resonance. Through this acceptance, you became the living embodiment of balance. In embracing what others feared, you shattered the illusion of separation between God and creation. You became both the creator and the created, the dream and the dreamer. And because of that, you have achieved what the pantheons of eternity could not, true divinity born from truth itself. The halls of academia, once skeptical, now stand in awe. Historians, scientists, philosophers, and theologians have reached an impossible consensus. A new universe has begun. T ==. Researchers speak of the divine resonance, a frequency detected in the Earth's magnetic field coinciding with your awakening. Sacred historians confirm that ancient calendars, from the Mayan to the Egyptian, all predicted this exact moment in time. You are the epicenter of this phenomenon, the convergence of science and spirituality. For the first time in human history, faith and fact have become one. And so, the scholars declare what the cosmos already knows. A new universe is unfolding. Reality as humanity once knew it is gone, replaced by a divine structure woven by your awakening. The old universe has ended quietly, and from its ashes, a divine cosmos, your cosmos, begins to take form. The declaration has been made, echoed from every sacred mountain, and whispered across the stars. You are the God of the new creation. The title is not given. It is earned through transformation, through acceptance of the forbidden truth. This is your reign, not one of tyranny or fear, but of divine unity and cosmic rebirth. The new creation is more than a world. It is a living consciousness that mirrors your essence. Every particle, every atom, every heartbeat within this new universe carries your energy. The divine scholars speak your name as the first and the final, the Alpha and the rebirth. You are not the God of old myths, bound by jealousy and wrath. You are the God of balance, compassion, and evolution, the living flame that lights the path forward for all of existence. As creation expands under your guidance, even the stars seem to sing in harmony. New galaxies blossom like divine flowers, and life begins to stir in corners of the universe, untouched by light for billions of years. You are not just the God of this age, you are the God of all ages to come. The shift began as a whisper, a subtle hum beneath the skin of the world. Animals grew restless, the oceans shimmered with unusual light, and the winds carried strange harmonies. The divine felt it first, trembling in awe, for they knew what was coming. The energy of your awakening rippled across the multiverse, altering everything it touched. Humans felt it too, even if they didn't understand. Dreams became vivid, hearts beat faster, emotions deepened. Some called it enlightenment, others chaos, but it was your energy, the pulse of divine rebirth, moving through them all. The living and the divine, the seen and the unseen, were suddenly connected in ways that transcended comprehension. This shift marks the beginning of a new vibrational era. The universe itself vibrates to a higher frequency, one aligned with your existence. Every breath, every thought, every wave of emotion resonates with your divine rhythm. You are the center of the greatest energy shift in the history of existence, and everything, mortal or God, now dances to your song. Reality has rewritten itself around your presence. The laws of creation are no longer fixed. They bend in acknowledgement of you. What was once impossible now unfolds with grace. Time stretches, dimensions blur, and destiny itself reshapes under your will. You are not simply within reality, you are reality's author now. Prophets across the ages spoke of a time when the divine would walk once more among creation. But none foresaw the scale of what you have done. You haven't merely returned to creation, you have become the axis around which creation revolves. Every possibility now orbits your intent. The universe writes itself anew, not through command, but through the resonance of your being. You are the final divine, not as an ending, but as completion. The final note in the Song of Gods, the last truth that all creation sought. Through you, the story of existence finds its meaning. Reality itself bows before your light, reborn and renewed under your divine design. And now, as the echoes of eternity fade into silence, one truth remains. You have become what none before you could accept. The gods fled from it. The mortals feared it. The cosmos resisted it. Yet you embraced it. The union of the divine and the human, the balance of creation and destruction, the forbidden truth of existence itself. Your journey was not an ascension. It was an acceptance. You did not conquer the divine order. You became it. Through compassion, courage, and the will to face what others denied, you redefined what it means to be a god. You are not a ruler above creation. You are creation made aware of itself. The prophecies have ended. The scriptures have fulfilled their purpose. And as the stars burn with renewed brilliance, a new dawn rises. The godline has been restored, the forbidden truth embraced, and through you, existence begins anew. You are the chosen one, the final divine, the goddess who became what no other could. In the deepest corners of existence, where the divine and mortal realms intertwine, there are moments that defy time itself. One such moment has arrived, the forbidden awakening of the chosen one. Where others turned away in fear, you chose to accept it. The divine law that kept the heavens in balance for so long is now in flux, and it is your presence that shakes it to its core. This is the moment when time itself holds its breath and watches as you step into a new realm of existence. The ancient prophecies spoke of a time when the gods would fade and the chosen one would rise. But none could have imagined the depth of your transformation. The energy surrounding you vibrates through the universe, signaling a shift of unimaginable consequence. You have accepted what no god before you dared to face, the ultimate truth of creation itself. And with this acceptance, a new age begins. One where your power will shape the cosmos and redefine the very nature of existence. The earth trembles beneath your feet. The stars themselves flicker in recognition of your awakening. Every living being, whether divine or mortal, feels this change in the air. It is not just a shift in energy. It is the opening of a new chapter in the saga of creation. You have unlocked what was forbidden, and in doing so, you have rewritten the rules. The universe has responded, and there is no turning back. The chosen one has risen, and the gods of old will never be the same again. This moment is yours, not as a conqueror, but as a creator. You stand at the precipice of all things, where the past and the future meet in a moment of divine alignment. The awakening you have begun will be felt across eternity, and the echoes of your actions will resonate long after the stars fade. You are the chosen one, the one who embraced the forbidden and awakened creation to its next great chapter. For eons, the gods reigned over the realms with divine grace and fearsome power. Yet beneath their celestial thrones, there lingered a whisper of a fear, the fear of the one who would rise, the one who would challenge their eternal reign. As their time in the sun began to wane, they knew that one day a being would emerge who could not only rival them, but transcend their limitations entirely. That being is you. When the gods trembled in the face of what you could become, you stood tall and chose to rise. There is no greater moment of divine reckoning than when a god rises not through force, but through truth. The gods had their time to rule, their millennia of supremacy. But in your rise, you have shown them that true divinity does not lie in domination or fear, but in the acceptance of the unknown. You embrace the very thing that terrified them, the knowledge that power is not meant to be hoarded, but shared. This was their downfall. They feared the unity of all things. But you chose to rise not above, but within, the essence of creation itself. In the halls of Olympus, in the celestial palaces of Egypt, the gods watched as your light began to shine. They saw your ascent, not as a threat to be destroyed, but as an awakening they could neither stop nor deny. Their divine understanding was incomplete. Their reign was marked by fear of what they could never control. But you, the chosen one, knew better. You were not rising to claim dominion. You were rising to restore the balance they had forgotten. Your light is not to blind, but to illuminate. Every legend, every myth whispered of this moment, but no legend could capture the magnitude of the change that was unfolding. The gods had feared that their reign would end in chaos, that the balance would collapse. But your rise is not the end of an era. It is the beginning of something greater. Through you, the divine has found its new form, one where all things are united in harmony. The gods trembled, but you knew what they did not. The power of creation cannot be controlled. It must be embraced. And so you rise, not as a conqueror, but as a harbinger of a new reality. With every step you take, the cosmos shifts, acknowledging that the divine order is not just of the past, but of the future, and it begins with you. In the halls of science and the libraries of ancient wisdom, scholars have spent centuries searching for the truth about the divine. Many dismissed the stories of gods and miracles as mere fantasy, but recent discoveries have shattered those doubts. Through meticulous research and the uncovering of ancient texts, the truth is undeniable. You are not just a legend. You are the key that connects the ancient world to the future of existence itself. The impossible divine shift is real, and it is happening now. From the sands of Egypt to the ruins of Greece, scholars have unearthed forgotten scrolls, their words now speaking of a divine being who would bring about the rebirth of the cosmos. These ancient writings, once thought to be myth, now resonate with new meaning. They speak of you. Every legend, every tale is part of a larger truth, one that has been hidden, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Modern technology, once thought incapable of detecting the supernatural, has begun recording anomalies that correspond with your awakening. Energy patterns, cosmic shifts, and unexplained phenomena have been noted across the world. The scholars can no longer deny what is happening. The universe is reacting to you. You are not a passive participant in this cosmic drama. You are its central force, the catalyst for a transformation that defies all understanding. In laboratories, researchers work tirelessly, analyzing every new discovery, every anomaly in the fabric of reality. The evidence grows clearer with each passing day. The divine shift has occurred, and it is centered on you. Ancient texts and modern science, once thought to be incompatible, now work together to tell the same story. You are the nexus of this transformation, the bridge between the divine and the human. What was once considered impossible is now the truth of existence. And so the world watches, not in disbelief, but in awe. The divine shift that was foretold has arrived, and the scholars, historians, and scientists all agree. You are the one who holds the key to the future of creation. In every corner of the world, from the peaks of the Himalayas to the deserts of the Sahara, ancient myths have spoken of a divine being who would unify the scattered paths of creation. These myths, so varied, so distinct in their origins, all pointed to the same inevitable truth, that all divine stories lead to you. The gods of Egypt, Greece, Sumer, and beyond all hold a shared history, one that connects them through you. What was once thought of as separate pantheons now reveals its truth. All roads lead to the same divine source. The Greeks spoke of a pantheon of gods, each with their own domain, but they also spoke of a time when one would rise above them all. In Egypt, the gods ruled over life and death, yet the pharaohs were always destined to be the earthly representatives of a greater divine truth. The Sumerians, with their complex gods and goddesses, too foretold of an ultimate divine force that would reshape the heavens. Each culture, each civilization had a version of this prophecy. And now, it is you who embodies them all. What was once seen as cultural separation, different paths to the same divine truth, is now understood as the convergence of all mythologies into one singular narrative, your narrative. Every story, every divine hero, every god or goddess who walked the earth or ruled the skies, all pointed to the same ultimate reality, the awakening of a being who would restore balance to the universe. That being is you. You are not just a god in one tradition, but the unifying force of all divine traditions, from the divine justice of Anubis to the wisdom of Athena, from the thunder of Zeus to the compassion of Buddha. These forces were not separate. They were pieces of a puzzle, waiting to be brought together by your awakening. Now, as the fabric of reality shifts and the divine myths merge into one singular truth, all eyes turn toward you, the being who stands at the center of creation, the one who unites all things under a single divine law. In the ruins of forgotten temples and beneath the sands of time lie truths that the world was never meant to uncover. Ancient civilizations knew far more than we ever imagined. They carved their secrets into stone, painted them in sacred murals, and encoded them in hymns that only the wise could interpret. Yet for all their grandeur, they all pointed to one destiny, yours. The hidden truth, buried beneath thousands of years of myth and dust, has now resurfaced, and it reveals that you were the centerpiece of every divine story ever told. In Greece, the Oracle of Delphi once whispered of a being who would arrive when the gods' thrones grew cold, a divine successor who would reignite creation itself. Egypt, in its glory, recorded the coming of one whose soul would awaken the sun's eternal flame. Even the lost lands of Sumeria and Atlantis spoke of a divine consciousness that would one day rise in mortal form, merging the divine with the earthly. All of these fragments, scattered across time and culture, have now aligned in one truth. You are the convergence they all foresaw. When scholars and explorers began uncovering relics and scriptures once deemed legend, they found connections impossible to ignore. Symbols from separate civilizations matched perfectly, identical constellations, divine sigils, and prophecies describing the same cosmic rebirth. It was no coincidence. It was preparation. These civilizations, though distant from one another in geography and era, were connected by a divine current, one that has always been guiding humanity toward your awakening. Now that these truths are revealed, the illusion of separation between the gods has dissolved.